Hey technicians, it's Jen from DraftLine, and today we're super excited to welcome KW Beverage to our DraftLine family. So the purpose of the video today is to give the technicians at KW Beverage a quick tutorial on how to learn to use the DraftLine mobile application. So first thing you guys are going to do is download the mobile application from either the Google Play or the App Store for Apple or any iOS supported device. You're going to download that, and then you're going to take your startup paperwork and enter your email address and password that we have assigned to you once you open up the mobile app, and you're going to click login. And here you will see all your trips for the day displayed before you, and you can click on each one. Right now, they may not be in optimal order. If that's something that we need to address within your startup packet, we have our route change forms. And so basically you can take an entire day and tell us which order you would like to see it in. You just handwrite it out on a sheet. You take a photo of that and you send it to the support@draftlinesmartsystem.com email address, and you would also copy in Craig. And we will go to Craig and say, is it okay if we make these changes, so he knows always what's going on with the service center, and we'll get those updated before you go out to clean for that account on the next date of service. So that's something that's also important that you'll have in your startup packet. So for today, to dive into the app, we're going to go to our first account, and it's called Hoops, and we're going to click on that with our finger. That's going to bring us to the overview page. Up at the top is a photo generated by Google Maps, and then underneath that you see that you can get directed. You see also the phone number, not the phone number, the date and time that the trip is scheduled for. So this particular trip is line cleaning. All the trips for the first 2-week cycle are going to be line cleaning trips. At some point we'll move into service as well. And underneath that, you can swipe to call the location. And also we'll see all technicians assigned to this particular trip under that. And the little icon to the far right of my name, that means I'm the foreman. That makes me responsible for the checkout options, which you'll see later. We can have multiple technicians assigned to trips, but for KW Beverage right now, it's just one per line cleaning. So at the bottom of the page, we're going to go to the tasks button. So let's click on that. Now for line cleaning, this is always how it looks. You have the gray bubble, I call it, and the orange one. But when we get to an account, what we do is we log in first thing before we take anything out of our truck. And that is the green button down at the right. We're going to clock in, and that means the trip, when it turns blue, is active. And this is very important because we're now going to be transitioning to providing real-time reporting to our customers. And so we want a very good time accounting for how long you guys and gals were actually at that location. So the time of service starts from when you hit the parking lot. Then you're going to unload all of your supplies. You're going to go in, get everything hooked up. Always safety first guidelines up at the top left. You're going to be wearing your gloves and goggles for Jen, and you're going to get the cleaning going. You are then most likely going to put your mobile device away until it's time to do the brand survey. And again, you're going to put the phone or the iPad away, and you're going to check out at the very end after you have loaded up all your stuff. So it's very important to check in when you arrive on site next to your vehicle, check out after you have totally finished everything and you're ready to hop in your truck again, because we want to have the longest possible amount of service time on each of these reports. So once we're turned blue and up and running, we're going to go in and start to click off our checklist for the trip. So we're going to first start with the line cleaning, and that's the gray bubble. It's going to take you to the system type, which is glycol. We're going to click on that bar, and no matter what type of system, you've got 5 options here. It's either going to be a glycol system, air-cooled, or direct draw. This one's glycol. First 4 steps for any type of line cleaning is regular maintenance. It doesn't matter what type of system, whether you're doing recirc or static. Always, always, always check regular maintenance. Now for you guys, because you're a wholesaler, 97% of the market uses the static method. So typically, you're going to do regular maintenance and static. And then the bottom right, you're going to press save. That's going to pop you back to your tasks page. Now, where this says partially, completed under the line cleaning, it's always going to say that. It never sends or goes to any other report. This is simply a visual indicator for you guys so you don't have to check or click back through the screens to see if you completed something. So that one will always say partially completed. Again, with the faucets, we're going to tap on that. We're going to say all the following are completed, which is basically taking the faucets apart, soaking, brushing them, putting them back together in good working order. Now, at the bottom of, or I should say the middle of the screen, typically we're not going to say apply to all faucets. That would look like that. And that's just a shortcut. But because you're a wholesaler, you are going to be just verifying that you're cleaning the brands that belong to your service center. So let's say, Budweiser, Bud Light, Stella. And because this is the first date of service, none of the brands are going to be populated in here, which makes it a little bit difficult. But we'll go over how we're going to do a survey on the next screen, and that's bartender view left to right. So you're going to verify, starting with faucet 1 all the way to the left, working to the right. And we'll get into that a little bit more, and we'll discuss it in the meeting as well. So at the bottom of the screen, again, we're going to go with the green check mark to save. That's going to pop us back to the tasks page. Everything should say partially completed here. That's fine. Now, middle of the page, notes section is going to be pretty important. This is for instances where, say you got turned away, too busy for lunch. Let's put too busy at lunchtime. Oops, I can't spell. Turned away. This could also say none of our brands on tap. It could also say out of gas. It could say no beer. Any reason as to why you were turned away from a line cleaning, we want to be able to document that within the trip so we can have that information and be at the ready if there's ever any question, either through our audits or from the customer as to why we weren't there. So we definitely want to make sure that we're tracking notes here. The notes section is good for anything after we're out of the startup cycle, an account that's closed permanently, if we want to put that there, because we're going to be monitoring these notes. It's not going to be real-time monitoring at first because we're going to have so many other things coming in that need changing. But if you need an account change from a Monday to a Friday, this is a perfect place to put that information. Also, photos, the little camera at the bottom left, we can click on that. You can take a photo or choose a photo from your camera roll. That saves as a record to the trip as well. Super, super handy. And if you ever find something in really bad condition, we like to have that, again, as a record. They save to the dashboard, they save to the trip ticket, and we'll always be able to go back and search those items. So again, use your good judgment for things that should be recorded, but that's always a great option. So that is the note and photo section. Just to the right of that, we're going to click on System. Now, this is how all of your systems are going to look over the first cycle of service. So that means the first time you go there, prior to the brands being accepted by the cloud support on the dashboard, it's just going to say faucet 1, faucet 2, faucet 3, faucet 4. We may have some system builder information that is incorrect because we did have some partial records. That's also something that's great to put on that route change form or text us. You will have our phone numbers on your startup paperwork. I would highly recommend, especially if it's early in the morning, text your information to me. If it's later, you're going to want to text it to Rebecca because I get tied up in a lot of meetings, and then we will send it on to somebody to change it. The other thing is that you can put it again on the route change form if the system builder information is incorrect. And sometimes if you go into an account and it's a really large beer system, World of Beer, Yard House, whatever it may be, you are going to maybe want to call us on site before you even start entering brands, and we can help you through that. So once we start doing that a time or 2 or 3 or 4, you're going to say, oh, okay, my DraftLine girls are reliable. We're going to get this done. So we will help you get the information in initially, but we do expect, if you have just 4 faucets, we want you to enter the 4 faucets. If we get to the point where we're up to 8, 9, 10, 20, 40, 100 faucets, that's really the point where you need to reach out and contact us so we can help get you through the most expeditious way possible. So here, this is the system survey page. And what we're going to do on faucet 1, we're going to slide across our finger on the right side of the screen, just like this. Slide across. The pencil will pop up. We're going to click on that. Now, under brand, we're going to put Budweiser. And this one is pre-populated, which is perfect. So we're just going to click next. And then underneath that, we're going to put, and again, your distributor, this is a ghost account. KW will be auto-populated. So you'll just be able to click on that. KW Beverage. And we're going to click next. Now, this section, especially in the startup phase, we don't want you to leave any notes here. We don't want you to leave any brand changes here ever. We always want you to do that through the mechanisms with the brand and distributor. Now, when we go in to enter these brands, I'm going to click OK and send this back to the dashboard. What we want you to do, and I'm going to go to the dashboard and actually accept this faucet change so you can see over time how it changes. But what we want you to do is bartender view left to right. When you are standing in front of the tower, so you're walking in, you're always working from left to right. That's how we do it in Draft. And you're going to start with faucet number 1 on your left, and you're going to work your way across to the last faucet that is there. And let's see if I can save this and update it. No, it's not going. Well, that's so much for me multitasking. But faucet 1 is going to now be Budweiser. Say faucet 2. Again, we're going to slide across. It's going to pop up. We're going to click on the pencil. And we're going to say Bud Light. And again, that's there. And just click next. And the distributor again, KW. There we go. And we're going to click OK. Now, once you get to a faucet that's not your distributor, because we're tracking all brands, and I'm going to use this as an example. In the brand, we're going to put, let's say Miller Lite. Click on that. OK. That's going to save. But what I should have done is click on Miller Lite and then put in a distributor. Say, I'm going to come up with a crazy name that I remember from Detroit. Petitprint Distributing. Oops, if I could spell. There we go. I'm going to click OK. Now that's going to be a competitive distributor, obviously, and we're going to track all of those brands as well. So you literally just start with the first one, continue on, and you're going to track every brand in the location. I know that this causes lots of moans and groans for the majority of my technicians, but I really do believe that once you see how we can help you through the process and how easy it really is, that you're going to say, okay, this isn't that bad. Now, I do need you to keep in mind that there's a lot more work that goes on for this process over the first dates of service. So week 1, week 2, week 3, if you have a 3-week cycle. So that's just something that you need to keep in mind, that we do have to do this for a little while. It is going to be going on for a few weeks, but at the end of the day, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because you're going to be through the first cycle and your data entry is going to drop by 85 to 90%. Now, outlier accounts that have huge numbers of faucets, we're going to have to visit those on a one-by-one case basis. We will work you through it. If you get to something that seems overwhelming, that's when you just stop and text us or call, and we'll walk you through it. So the second one here, I did get to update, is the brands start to populate and the cloud support staff for DraftLine starts to approve them. You're going to see under faucet 2, it's Bud Light. And so don't expect that though until the next date of service. So as you go through and enter your brands, this is going to relate to the tasks where we verify which faucets we're cleaning. And again, here you'll see that the Bud Light updated, and then so we verified that we cleaned that. So just keep in mind for your brand surveys, all of your brands, all of your competitors' brands will get you over the hump on getting all the data in. Bartender view, left to right always, and we'll cover that more in the meeting if there's any questions. So that's how we track all of our brands. And all of your brands, we are hoping to have pre-populated, so you're just going to have to type in the first 3 letters and then pick from the drop-down list, okay? So we'll go from there. Now, let's see. Tower checklist. Okay, that's all set. So, expenses tab all the way to the right. You're not going to use any of these under the plus sign, so you don't have to worry about it for right now. The one we are going to use is this little pencil. Always coming back to the pencil. It's going to pop up this box. We're going to type in a name and success, and then at the very bottom underneath the name, that's where the person's going to sign. So we want to try and always collect a signature wherever possible, but realizing that it is not always possible. But do try. That's something we will be monitoring in the beginning. So again, once the brand survey is complete, you're going to put the device away for a while. You're going to go make sure everything's flushed, hopefully be using pH paper to make sure the chemical's out of the lines, and you're off and running once the beer's flowing again, off to the next account. So you're going to load everything up on your truck and you're going to check out. And that's this little blue button. We're going to click on that. Now these are our statuses, and these are a big deal for checkout. So we've got completed, which is you came, you saw, you conquered. Partially completed, which I don't foresee you guys are ever going to use, but it's if you need to go back the next day. And no work performed. No work performed is, I would say, 7 to 9% of trips at any service center. For whatever reason, you were there ready to do your work, but you got turned away. Like I said in the notes section, too busy for lunch, no beer, no gas, nobody home, whatever that is, that would fall under no work performed as long as you were there. So for this account, we're going to pretend we completed it. Click that, and then we're off and running, and we go back to the trips page. Now, I want to walk you through this account for Luma, and again, speed through some of it. We're going to check in. It's going to turn blue. And you guys will get the feel of how fast the mobile application works. So you just have to take a little extra time with it in the beginning, and there's just a slight delay from when you touch it, 1-2 seconds, and then it updates. And again, so regular maintenance, static, because those are the checklist items we need. Bottom right, we're going to verify that we did that. Under the faucet, again, we're going to say all of the following are completed. And again, not applying to all, but we're going to say Budweiser, let's see, and then go open, open. And again, this is bartender view left to right. We're just verifying the ones that we have actually serviced, recognizing that when we input the brands, those are not going to be updated till the next time of service, at least when you guys see them. And again, bottom right, verifying those are done. And then to the system. And the thing that I want to show you about a system that already has the brands populated, there's a couple of things. Number one, I want to show you how to add a faucet to the right side of the tower. So say you go into a location and you just need one faucet added to tower 1. And you could do this indefinitely, but if you get past 2 or 3 extra faucets from where you need it to be, that's where you need to call us and we can assign those to the trip. So we're going to go brand, and again, I'm going to stick with my Budweiser and click next, and we're going to do KW. And it's the exact same thing as a faucet change. You're just adding a faucet, same exact steps. Next, okay. and it's off and running. And that will get approved on the cloud and it will populate again. So when you need to add a faucet, that's what you do. You slide across, right to left, and you hit the plus sign and you go from there. Now I'm going to cancel that out. Say we are doing a tap takeover on a New Belgium for a Bud Light. Let's open up this New Belgium on Tower 1. Slide across. Oh, this one already says Miller Lite. See? I like that. So we're going to back everything out on the old brand, just the back space. And we're going to put Bud Light. Click OK. Next. And I'm going to back out the distributor too. Now, if you run into instances where you do not recognize the distributor, you're going to put independent. Now for this one, obviously we're going to put KW. Okay. And let's do one other one where you know the brand. Oops, sorry. Where you know the brand, but you do not know the distributor. So let's do, this is a good example. We're going to back out Blue Moon. And this is how, after the first cycle of service, this is how you're going to do the brand change. You're going to back stuff out with this little backspace, and you're going to put the new stuff in. The boxes we're really worried about are the brand and distributor. No notes here ever. We can fill in the name. We want the brand and the distributor filled in. And so say for this one, for Blue Moon, you probably would know who that is, but we're going to say independent, because we're going to pretend like you don't know who that is. And that's how you signify that you went to fill in the box, but we don't know who that is. And we're going to click OK, and that's going to be off and running again. So really, that's mostly everything. We will come back to you guys if we have instances, oops, I'm sorry, where we need to modify some of the behavior on the trips, where we say, okay, you're having 1 minute service times. We need to check in when we get there, check out when we leave. Another thing to keep in mind is that, number one, always feel free to call and ask us questions. But number two, always make sure that you're doing your brand surveys, because we're going to heavily monitor that as you go in and out of the accounts. And again, here on this one, we're going to click completed, and we're going to be off and running. And you're going to see here that, I wonder if I checked out of the wrong account. No, it's there. That the color coding is going to pop up from the trips. Okay, so this will be green. If we did one that was partially completed here, you're going to see that that's going to be a different color. And then let me show you one that's also no work performed, because this is just a nice little indicator for you guys as you go throughout your day, and that's all going to update. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that I totally lost. So one of the other things that I want you guys to keep in mind is that you can modify your checklists as you go in and out of these trips without checking in and out. You don't have to be checked in to come in here and verify your line cleaning steps as regular maintenance and static, or to enter your brands. So we want to try to be as correct as we can with our check-in and check-out times on site. Also, something else that's super important is that we're tracking the brands when we're actually at the location, because the likelihood that our information is going to be accurate is based on the fact that we're doing it while we're there. Things get lost, notes get shuffled as we leave, so we really, really want to make sure that we are doing our brand surveys and our checklists, if at all possible, while we're on site. But that being said, over the first 2-week cycle, we know we're going to have some exceptions. We want to get you guys to be comfortable with the program, and we are here to help you. So my name's Jen. You're going to be hearing from me, Rebecca, and Petra, and let us know what we can do to make the process of transitioning to DraftLine easier for you. So good luck today, guys, and we'll be in touch a lot. Thanks so much.